And thank you for coming back to part 2 of Ghost Critics Comic Book Corner. Let's get straight on with it. We've got Superboy number 3. Now, if you saw my best of 2010, I announced this as my comic to watch for 2011. And I'm thinking I might have said this a bit too soon. The problem at the moment with Superboy, and okay, it's only on issue 3, but still, this suffers from adding more but explaining less. There are too many elements being thrown in instead of, concentrating on what you've already, thrown in the Superboy pot, so to speak. This is kind of an issue, it's a kind of a flashback issue, only a few hours, but still, we start off, Superboy is on the floor, he's practically knocked out, and we have this girl hovering over him going, "Help! Save us, Superboy! Save us!" And it flashes back to a scene between Superboy in his undercover identity, chatting with his new best mate Simon, who isn't looked to be poor Simon. I'm sorry, Superboy is pretty harsh on this kid. Obviously Simon's a bit of an outcast in school. He didn't have any friends until Connor turned up. And just because Connor, worked out, which isn't pretty hard in my eyes, that Connor is actually Superboy, Superboy says we can't be mates anymore at school. You can either have one or the other. And obviously, because he knows he's Superboy, you can't be mates with me at school. Harsh, man! Clark seems to have plenty of mates that know he's really Superman in real life. So I was pretty bummed out for Simon there, and I thought Connor was a bit of an arse, but by the by, poor Simon. The story is throwing this new character in, or new to me anyway, Psionic Lad, and he's from the year 2216. And he is trying to get back to the past to get Connor to help him, but his mode of transport is causing the surrounding area, everyone in the school, to pass out, and is giving Connor, Superboy, a major headache. Apart from one character, and that's this girl who's Laurie, who's just walking around, and she's walking around as if nothing is wrong. She doesn't look as if she's upset or bewildered. She's just walking around all these kids' bodies that are on the floor, passed out. They could be dead for all she knows, but no, she's just walking around thinking, "Oh, there's nothing odd about this. Well, what's wrong?" She's not even asking what's wrong with everybody until she sees that Connor changed into Superboy. This guy has really got to sort out his secret identity. Everyone's going to find out eventually. So yeah, it throws a lot of stuff in, new stuff. Some guards come future guards come crashing in to take off Psionic Lad, and it finishes with Laurie, as it did at the start. "Superboy, you've got to save us all." It's okay, it's a good issue. I'm still going to stick with it for a while. You got to give these things a chance, but, explain more, add a little less for now. Unfortunately, the artwork, let's talk about the artwork. It does look, I don't know, who was the colourist on this? Jamie Grant, the colourist. He seems to have everyone in either a perpetual state of embarrassment, or everyone's been at the makeup box and playing with the rouge. Christ! What is wrong with all their skin colour? It's just bad, it really is. It's very, very... I won't say amateurish, because this guy is obviously a professional. He's getting paid for it, but oh, please sort that out straight away. So yeah, the skin colour thing is kind of off-putting, and again, the artwork from the last 2 issues, they've been kind of fresh looking. They have, and I've enjoyed that kind of old style in a way, kind of colouring. But this kind of took it out of that kind of ilk, and I didn't really enjoy it that much. So, well, hopefully my prediction of this being a great title for 2011 still comes to pass. it was an enjoyable issue. I would still keep picking it up, and hopefully it'll get a lot better. Almost my pick of the last 2 weeks. I know a lot of people, well, reviews that I've read haven't really warmed to this. It is the first issue after all. And here's my thinking on it. Batman, The Dark Knight. Now, of all the titles that have come out, that are continuing at the moment, this is the one that I personally have been looking forward to the most. It's David Finch, so straight away I'm on board with the art. Love his artwork. Big fan of him when he was doing Avengers over at Marvel. I know he can do, he can draw a mean, badass Batman because of the Batman Return one-shot. I think I said in that review, he's not that dissimilar to the character he drew Moon Knight over in Marvel. It's just black. We have Moon Knight white, we've got Batman black. But he's still, the artwork is so nice in this. So what we basically have is this girl, this childhood friend who's called Dawn Golden, who used to be a childhood friend of Bruce's, and they used to play while the butlers, you know, had their little chin wag and their cups of tea. And so there's an allusion, I should say, to a kind of sexual awakening of Bruce as probably a 7 or 8 year old child, with April Golden mounting him in some woodland scene, which is a bit but still, you know, we have to have this element that this is how these two are connected. So bring back straight up to date Batman, the Bruce Wayne, proper Batman now. He's staking out a back alley house, waiting for someone to come out because Dawn Golden has been kidnapped. She is now become this, from what we read, she's this society girl, and she's been kidnapped. So Batman is out there looking for him. Now, I don't know, I haven't read this anywhere else yet, or seen it, but I don't know about anyone else who's read this, but it reminded me a great deal of Hush. At least the start of it. You know, you have this kidnapped person, you have Batman going out looking for them, and then Killer Croc turned up. Now that happens somewhere else. Oh yeah, the beginning of Hush. David, you need to get your own ideas, mates. I know you're a good writer, I know you can do well on this, and I am looking forward to this a great deal. He's got some good, you know, Batman's Rogue Gallery is in here. We have Killer Croc, we eventually have Penguin at the very end. I'm really looking forward to how this all this is going to pan out, and I'll be on board with this title for a long time to come. This is my Batman. This is, I mean, Hush was amazing for me. That was my Batman there as well. There's a mystery to be solved. This is Batman, you know, kicking ass against, you know, those super villains, those rogues gallery that he's accumulated over the many decades of his crime fighting past. So I'm ready to keep going with this, and you know, unless something really, you know, truly awful turns up, this is going to be right on the top of my pile every week. The writing by Finch, he'll find his feet, he really will. There is that cheesy double page spread right at the very end, that one. I don't know if anyone can really see that, but we get some, you know, the cheesy cliched lines from Penguin, throwing in the bird references. It's a bit cliched, but you know, it's Penguin. We'll see where it goes. I did find, of that last splash page, I did just look at the 4 guards behind the Penguin and looked at their guns and thought, shit, they would make great, you know, those pump action water pistols. That's just what they look like. They don't look like scary high-tech rifles to me at all. But That's something else entirely. Anyway, Batman The Dark Knight issue 1, go and pick it up. It is Batman how Batman should be. And finally, this is 2 issues, but it's the same title. I asked my comic book guy to recommend me something this week because, you know, I wasn't doing much this weekend, wanted to be entertained a little, and he gave me these 2. This is Welcome to Tranquility. It's by Gail Simone, who also writes Birds of Prey. So I know the writing on these was going to be top notch, and I was not disappointed. There's been a series of Welcome to Tranquility before. I completely missed it. I wish I hadn't. I've told the guy to get me some back issues on that, or the collected work for me, because I want to totally immerse myself in this world. Basically what we have is a community called Tranquility, which is made up of retired superheroes and supervillains all living together as one big huge community. This is not a great title to just jump in now, apparently. I took a risk, and I'm glad I did, but if you're that kind of person that I kind of used to be, and I'm trying to get out of, is that, you know, I'm not going to pick up something that's already full continuity. I'm a bit of a completist, and I want to know everything that's gone on before. So this, to start with, I had to, you know, just read it as a story, and it was very good. Basically we have the Mayor of Tranquility, Mayor Fury, being released from prison after being acquitted of attempted murder of a reporter, which he completely did, by the looks of it, from what I've read. He completely tried to kill this reporter. But he's been acquitted by some clever lawyer, and he's out, and he's being escorted back to Tranquility by 2 police officers and the sheriff and a police officer. On the way, they are forced off the road, quite spectacularly, by a huge tree picked up by a mysterious figure. And the story unfolds that there's a surprise party for the mayor being held, even though everyone pretty much hates him for everything he's done. We get a return, apparently. I mean, the names of some of the characters in these is just amazing. We've got Coyote Kid, we've got Maximan, Mr. Articulate, who turns up at the end of this issue, who apparently died in the last series. He's come back to life. Who else have we got here? We've got Pink Bunny, Zombie Zeke, and Mangacide. These are just great supervillain names. I love it. I smiled all my way through reading these 2 issues. The artwork by Dominguez is just full of life. It's colourful, it's bright, it's in your face, it's very detailed. This is a fun, entertaining read. Issue 2, we have the fallout from the crash, which had the mayor and the 2 police in, and we find out that it's his son that has come back. Again, history, I don't know where he's been, why he's been away. I can't wait to read the last series of this to get brought up to date, and my comic guy is getting me the rest of these issues of this series, because I think it's been out for a while now. It might even have been finished, but I'm so glad he recommended me this. So with that is all mine for this week. As usual, please subscribe to my channel. Please rate it, even if you don't like it. Give me some recommendations. Comment on what I've been talking about. Do you agree? Do you disagree with me? Until next week, but maybe I might put a bonus video in at the end of this. So look out for it. Bye!